Thomas Nast, the father of American cartoon. Corruption was a big problem and still occurs today. Corruption in politics is when one uses his or her powers for improper reasons. One of the earliest signs of corruption was during the election of 1824, when Andrew Jackson rewarded supporters with government jobs, known as the spoils system. Corruption was occurring in all types of places. Politicians took over governments with much control. In 1869, William Tweed was elected into office in one of the most important cities in America, New York City. William Tweed was now the corrupt mayor of New York City as well as the boss of Tammany Hall, the Democratic political machine that played a major role in the 19th century politics in New York City and state. He used his powers in horrible ways, such as cheating New York City out of close to $100 million and getting reelected. As Tweed said,
"As long as I count the votes, what are you going to do about it?"
One man starts to change that. His name was Thomas Nast, and he made it his goal to serve justice to William Tweed. Thomas came to America in 1846 because his parents did not like the Bavarian government, which also led him into not liking corruption, as well as there was a revolution coming. Since his early ages, he was a very good illustrator. He worked at a few magazines companies before he decided to pursue his successful job of being a cartoonist, or artist as he liked to be called. But even as working in the magazine companies, he disliked the fact that political corruption was occurring in his own city, as he showed people about police corruption that was occurring during his earlier career. Thomas Nast had already addressed that police corruption was a serious problem in New York City. Tammany Hall had also did some things that outraged Thomas Nast, such as when they proposed a new tax that supported Catholic schools. Even though Thomas Nast was born and raised in a Catholic family, he had converted into a Protestant and turned completely anti-Catholic when he got married.
I drew this one in 1871. The Catholics are one of the biggest threats to our country, and even worse, people are enriching Catholicism into public education. This picture shows that bishops are envisioned as crocodiles and that they will indeed eat you up, especially the school children.
Another thing that made him against one of the main corrupt groups in New York City, Tammany Hall, was Irish people. As Tammany Hall was a group that was very supportive of Irish people and immigrants and tried to get Irish into good political jobs, as William Tweed was part Irish himself.
Yeah, here's a picture I drew titled The Usual Irish Way of Doing Things. I made this one in 1871 as well. I guess it was one of my fine years. But these Irish lads, they get mad for everything, and all they are violent drunks. The Irish are also a major makeup of Tammany Hall. Those corrupts. One time Tweed even bribed me to stop and leave, and it went a little something like this.
"I see what you're doing here. I'll give you $100,000 for you to leave to Europe, study art, and stop this madness."
How about you make it $500,000?
"Fine, $500,000. And you'll leave me alone?"
One of Nast's finest quotes.
Well, I don't think I'll do it. I had made up my mind not long ago to put some of those fellows behind the bars.
Good, right? The authorities then found out later and put Tweed behind bars in 1873.
But then he escaped in 1875 and fled to Vigo, Spain. Too bad for him, my drawings were so good that officials used my cartoons to identify him and caught him. Uncanny, right?
Thomas Nast was a great man and should be thanked for addressing the problem of political corruption.
No problem, bye.